Hello everybody, MorbTron here. Today we are looking at The Last Word. This is the review video. If you're looking for a guide on how to get it, I will link that in the description down below. But let's take a look at it. Let's see what this weapon can do. Now, if you've played Destiny 1, you should know all about The Last Word and its prowess. It was a beast in the Crucible. Sometimes overpowered. And then it got its fair share of nerfs and things, and in year 3 it came back again, kinda. It was okay in year 3. But, oh well. This is Destiny 2. How is The Last Word in D2? Well, the intrinsic perk is now called Fan Fire. This weapon can be fired quickly and continuously, so it's fully automatic. Faster reload and increased accuracy on successive hipfire damage. Now, in Destiny 1 we saw something that increased hipfire damage, and not just accuracy and reload speed. So it seems like the weapon is better balanced in D2 than it was in D1. Yes, it is a 225 RPM hand cannon, and it can 3-tap in the Crucible. So it has the potential to be an absolute beast. However, it is very, very difficult to get that 3-tap consistently. It is a very unwieldy weapon if you're trying to go for maximum fire rate, just holding down the trigger or holding down the mouse button, as you'll see here. Now, the other perks that I usually go over on weapons don't really matter on exotics, so I'm not really going to go over them. They are what they are. It has hipfire grip, blah-de-blah, hipfire accuracy, that sort of thing. And yeah, you can hipfire the weapon. Now, in the Crucible, I actually find the most success aiming down sights. You don't get the increased hipfire accuracy, but why does it matter? Because you're aiming down sights. You also don't get the increased reload speed. That's not actually that bad, though, because the reload speed on the weapon base is very, very good. So, the weapon hits like a truck and fires very, very fast. Only holds 8 rounds, though, so you do need to be accurate. Now, I have found that since this is a 225 RPM hand cannon, and The Last Word does have its special recoil animation. It's the only hand cannon in the game that you fan fire. You know, your Guardian basically slaps the back of the gun, slapping the hammer on the pistol to actually fire the thing. Now, the weapon ornament for it completely changes the way the weapon works. Or, I'm sorry, looks. It doesn't change the way it works. But what it does change is the reticle. So you see here with the ornament, the reticle is blue. Or white. Let's call it white. Me personally, I have a much better time tracking my target with a white or blue sight than a yellow sight. I don't know, it's just something with my eyes. I don't really have problems with tracking the white, but the yellow from the regular Last Word scope, especially in the Crucible, there's bright flashes everywhere and explosions going on, I tend to lose the reticle. And I actually just unlocked, or just got the ornament before I started recording this video, which was after I recorded the Crucible bit for this video. So in the Crucible portion, I'm not using the ornament. And sometimes I lose my target. But I spent a lot of time in the Crucible trying to get a good video for this weapon, so I really don't feel like re-recording it. But just know that if the yellow sight on The Last Word is messing with your eyes like it does with mine, the ornament does help out with that. And the ornament right now is in the Prismatic Matrix this week from Tess, if you're watching this on the week of The Last Word being released. And so you have a pretty good chance of getting the ornament for it. And I would highly, highly recommend it if you have problems looking at the yellow on the site like I do. But let's hop into the Crucible, and we'll see what the weapon can do. Alright, so we're doing Control, Burnout. Now this is post-commentary. I wanted to concentrate as hard as I could on the gameplay itself with the weapon, and not so much the commentary, even though I just ate it. Just ate a sniper shot there. It's fine. The rest of the game goes really, really well, by the way. So the weapon in Crucible is insanely fun. I would definitely recommend doing it. Definitely recommend getting your hands on this thing. Now, I will say that it's not always a smart idea to go for the highest rate of fire on this weapon. What I mean by that, it's not always the best idea to go full auto. Especially when your target is a ways away from you. Like in a regular hand cannon dual range, it's much better to aim down sights and just shoot at them regularly. You know, either clicking with a mouse or pulling the trigger one bullet at a time on a controller. The reason for that is it's a lot more controllable. The recoil pattern is very erratic with this weapon. It almost matches like 180 RPM hand cannon, so I mean, as people get better, as I get better with the weapon, of course, you know, we might be able to just hold down the trigger, and hopefully, you know, that's something I'll be able to master as time goes on. But it's not always the best idea, especially at a distance. It's a lot easier to keep the reticle on your enemy, not going full auto and just holding down the trigger. There's something to keep in mind there. Also, like I had mentioned in the bit before the Crucible, if the yellow reticle gets lost to you, like here, I can't even see the yellow reticle right now when I'm shooting. But the white reticle on the weapon ornament, I can see when I'm even firing full auto. So it's going to be something that, you know, I hop back into the Crucible with and definitely try later on. So if you're having troubles keeping your eye on the yellow reticle with the standard weapon looks, definitely give the ornament a try. Now the weapon's range isn't as good as other hand cannons. That's something else to get used to. I'm not really a user of 180 RPM hand cannons as well. So if you're used to using 180s, the Not Forgotten is going to feel second nature to you. You know, with the standard 180 RPM hand cannons range, things like that. They're not going to have the range of like a 110 or a 140, and especially they don't have the range of the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades has a ton of range, and whereas this thing kind of really isn't. It is good at taking down shotgun rushers if you ever have to, you know, try to nuke one of those down as they're coming at you. I would not recommend pairing the Last Word with a shotgun, just because the Last Word is a very close range dueling hand cannon. You can go for the longer ranges on this thing, but it's not really all that great. If you go up against a Ace of Spades with a Last Word, you're going to lose 9 times out of 10 if you're going at them from range, just because, especially if they have Memento Mori up, they're going to hit you really hard and flinch you, whereas, you know, you're not really going to have all that much flinch going against them, and the bullet drop-off is actually pretty severe with the Last Word if you're out of its range. So, pairing this thing up with like a bow, or a sniper, or even like a pulse rifle or scout rifle, I think it'd be really good. I'm sure on some maps, you know, like a Last Word shotgun combo will work just fine. Or if you are a person that likes to ape, you know, if you like to shotgun ape, you might want to do it as well. I mean, it's... do what you want. I'm just recommending. Don't pair this thing up with a shotgun. And also, you know, if you can try not to spawn right in front of an enemy super. You know, I don't know if you need to send Deej a Christmas present or something, but just, you know, just try not to have that happen, because that's pretty hard to defend against, spawning in front of an enemy super like that. But, yeah, other tips with this thing, you know, I would definitely recommend using a helmet that has the hand cannon targeting adjuster armor perk on it. The helmet that I'm using right now in the Crucible has it on there. Even helps with mouse and keyboard, having the little bit more bullet magnetism on the Last Word. So when you're even hip firing, it does better. Would highly recommend. But other than that, you know, it's a hand cannon. We're going to have to get used to it. I want to get better with it. I'm clearly not the best with it. But I want to get better. It's a very unique hand cannon. I myself used to using 140 RPM hand cannons mostly, or 150s. Don't really use 180s at all. So I definitely need more practice with this weapon. But let me know in the comment section down below if you've popped off of this thing, you know, if you've gotten like 40 kills using primarily the last word, what your opinions on it are. Also, I'm curious to see how the weapon is on console. If you're on console, how do you feel about it? I know on PC, the recoil can be a little bit iffy, but I know the higher frame rates will allow you to, you know, see a little bit better with that, just how fast this thing fires. But if you like this video, positive rating is greatly appreciated. If you're new here, you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button. But do not forget to have a good day, everybody. I'll see you all next time.
Numbers, Guardian. Excellent. Don't see lost. Tell them to line up fast. Double down. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Hold strong, and this battle is yours. Zone C lost. Zone B lost. Your enemy has a power play. Sound tactics bring victory.